Good morning and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We are on episode 146. We had a great college football Sunday. We had a great NFL Sunday as well. So we got to talk about our takeaways from those two. And then we got to finish with Tim's best bet to see how he's doing going into Monday night. So let's get it started.
Yeah. I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Socks.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 146. I'm here with Anthony and Tim, and holy cow, was this a very unexpected, exciting Saturday. You know that saying where they say, you don't know you're in the good days until you passed it? Well, let's recognize it right now. We're in the good days.
Definitely.
All right. Well, let's talk about these big takeaways this Saturday. Tim, start me off with your biggest takeaway.
I think the Texas-Oklahoma game is is one of the first big takeaway. Arch is finally back. Arch, I think he came to play. I mean, the second he didn't look very good. Either team didn't look very good in the first half, but in the second half, I think he played his best football of the year. I really do. I mean, he took care of the ball, kept Texas out of bad situations, and was great on third downs. Also, the running back for Texas, that Wisner. He is really good. He played probably his best game he's played all year. Texas started the game 0 for 3 on third downs, but converted 9 of the next 12, including 6 in a row. And I think that was a key. They kept the chains moving. They kept Oklahoma off the field. For Oklahoma, they should never play that much here. I'm telling you right now.
Yep.
He had 3 interceptions. All 3 of them was because of that thumb. I'm telling you. They should have. I think I would have went with Hawkins with it, because he was overthrowing people, missing people. It had to be because of that thumb injury, and they just didn't look the same. Their defense held him into the game until the end, but I just don't think he's not ready yet. I think they brought him back way too soon. I mean, he had some bad throws. That backward swing pass in the fourth quarter, and then the fumble, and then Texas goes right down and scores. That was a backbreaker. That was just too much. I mean, it's just. And another thing, Oklahoma was doing good on their defense, but they didn't have any running attack. They're only averaging like 3 yards. You got to mix it up, especially if Mateer is in what he was doing. I just think it was way too soon. I think I would have lived and died by starting Hawkins, because I don't think Mateer was ready, and that made a big difference in this game.
Yeah.
Well, I would agree that I would also think that was Arch Manny's premier game finally.
Yeah.
We finally got to see what his potential was worth. I hope that wasn't just a one-off. I hope we can kind of see that throughout the rest of the season in the second half here, but it was definitely good to see some good football out of him. Anthony, what was your takeaway?
I definitely agree. I think when you look at how he came out to play, he just went and played football. It wasn't no expectations. There wasn't no concern after throwing the ball, stuff like that. I do think Oklahoma's defense is still good. It's just when you're on the field majority of the time, you get pretty tired. The Oklahoma offense just didn't do as much as they should have been doing. I also think right before half, when Mateer threw that ball in the end zone and it got picked off, those were points. And it was a field goal game at that time where I think it was like 6-3 or something like that. You can't give up points in a game like this. I don't want to say Texas is back, but this was a big win for Texas. And like I said to Lisa, or on this podcast, in Texas, they demand wins, and this was a big one for them to take because of the rivalry.
Yeah, most definitely. I do think they still have a lot to go before we're ready to say that they're back, but this was a good start. About time, actually. It feels like a late start.
One more last thing on this game. Also, too, you notice that on the sun, they said this on the game, the sun was on the Oklahoma side damn near the whole game.
Yeah.
That had to be a lot as well, because I think Holly Rowe was on that side, and she said she was over there for maybe a half, maybe 3/4. And she says, I couldn't take it anymore. It was so hot down there. She had to move to the Texas side. And I wonder if that didn't have a little bit to do with maybe some fatigue as well. going on for Oklahoma because they looked tired at the end.
Yeah.
They Texas kind of pulled away. I'm not trying to make excuses for Oklahoma, but that could be something to look at as well.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Wearing all that gear and that sun can be draining. Absolutely. All right, Anthony, well, take us into your biggest takeaway this Saturday.
Yes, so when they say when it rains, it pours. Northwestern versus Penn State. Penn State, come on now. They take a bad loss last week. They'll be fine. It's Northwestern. It's an easy win, right? Northwestern has not won in Beaver Stadium since 2014. Well, they decided to win. Northwestern wanted it more. They brought the physicality against Penn State. Penn State looks so sloppy. And we've said that all year, but this game, they really look sloppy. Drew Aller would go down with a leg injury. They're saying he's done for the rest of the year already. Adding to that, Mr. James Franklin has been fired today. That is a huge one. Now, why is that huge? Because when you do stuff like that, I brought it up in the past, coaches, recruits and things like that can transfer because of this. So when you do that, you're opening the doors to possibly good people leaving and things like that. So do I think it's bad? I will say this. They had Indiana and Ohio State still on the schedule, and they were going to get beat by these two teams. So that's two more losses when you can't even beat a Northwestern team. Congrats to the Wildcats because that's a huge win for them. But Penn State, man, it's raining and it's pouring pretty bad there now.
Yeah, well, in case nobody knows that Anthony and I used to be season ticket holders for the Northwestern team. So there's a soft spot in our hearts for the Wildcats. They're not always great, but there's a soft spot. So when we see them take down a big team like this, it's a win for the Cookhouse. But I would agree that totally snuck up on me. I was not expecting that. But as you're saying, they have big games ahead of us. Like they had that Oregon game that they did well against, but losing in Northwestern and having an Ohio State and Indiana later on, those are tough games to go up against. Tim, what's your takeaways?
I think the biggest one is, this is big. I mean, like you said, when it rains, it pours. They might not win another game the rest of the year. If you can't beat Northwestern and UCLA, how the hell are you going to be able to beat Indiana and Ohio? There's no way they're beating those two teams. They may not win another game the rest of the year. He lost the team. Because he didn't have his team ready to play, plain and simple. These last 3 weeks, he lost all, and that's why he got fired. They stopped listening to him. They had to him, and the Drew Aller injury. Now you're going to go up against a backup quarterback. I don't see him win another game this rest of the year. And that's sad because this team was. They had a problem. I mean, they were rated number 2 in the nation this year, and to have two of these last 3 losses be against non-ranked bottom feeders in the Big Ten? Ooh, ouch.
And it's really sad, too, of Drew Aller as well. Like, Drew Aller could have went to the draft last year. He throws a pick against Notre Dame, caused him to say, hey, I need to come back and do it, and then has this leg injury. He has not had a good year. I would not be surprised if his name doesn't come up when it comes to the draft time because of the injury. Who knows what it is. It's also very hush-hush on the injury. It's a leg injury. Nobody said whether it's a fracture, a break, whatever. But also, too, James Franklin, we were talking about this at Penn State. They don't want to lose. They're putting money into the stadium. They have the most CEOs in college or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, they want to win now. They put all this money into it now. Like, they want to compete with Ohio States and Indianas and blah, blah, blah. And you can't lose to Northwestern.
No. And this was their best team that he's had since he's been there. I mean, this was a very good running backs, a good quarterback, Drew Aller. Their defense now looks a little suspect, but this was his best team. And for them to go, I just think it just.
Well, and one final thing too. Didn't they go pay all this money to the Ohio State's defensive coordinator?
Yeah,
to
Jim
come
Nolan.
to Penn State.
And
Penn State's defense looks like garbage. There was so many missed tackles. That's the game-winning touchdown or he slid it to 1 at Northwestern. He just hid behind his offensive line, and then you can't have that happen.
Right.
No. All right. Well, Tim, take us into your second takeaway this Saturday.
I think the Alabama-Missouri game. Ty Simpson is red hot right now. I think he is a legitimate shot for Heisman. He is playing these last 3 weeks, going on the road to Missouri and beating them. I think he's red hot. He made some impressive throws in key parts of the game. He finished with 200 yards, which ain't great stats, but it's not bad. 3 touchdowns. The offensive line look good. But also too, Ryan Williams, he was talk of Heisman. He doesn't look good. I think he's hurt. I don't think he looks 100%. But they didn't really need him. They don't. But I think down the line they're going to need him. Maybe gets an LSU. He didn't record a catch. Missouri had 4 rushes, go for more than 10 yards. So I mean, and for Missouri, that Probilla, he throws the interception right at, I think it was right at the right before half, and that allowed, or no, it was at the end of the game that allowed Alabama to run the clock out. They were driving too. I mean, they were going either for the tie or take the lead, and he's known for that, throwing bad interceptions at the wrong time. Missouri secondary is not good either because Simpson, I mean, they just unloaded on him. Missouri had too many penalties in the first quarter, a targeting, and then an unsportsmanlike penalty is killing dry. I mean, you can't have stuff like that. Yeah. And I think he's a good coach in Missouri, but it seems like they always have the penalties at the wrong time. Yeah. That Burden, I think, was last year. He had an unsportsmanlike when they were supposed to be really good, and he had one. They're just not disciplined. So this was a take-it for you guys, Missouri. You guys had this team on the ropes, driving with about 8 minutes to go, and you just couldn't put them away. And that's too bad because I think they could have, if they got to a tie, I think they could have beat Alabama.
Yeah.
I definitely was rooting for Missouri this whole time. They were keeping it close. They had it all the way to, you're right, to the very end there. So I was definitely rooting for overtime, just put them on there, put that upset in Alabama's court over there. But yeah, Alabama, oh my goodness gracious, Alabama did pull through there. Anthony, what was your takeaway from that game?
Yeah, I think you got to put some respect on their name now. You went through a gauntlet right there for 3 solid teams, and you came out winning all of them. I think that's something to be said. I think when you look at these top 10s, a lot of people are talking about Ohio State. They don't have a quality win. Even just beating up on Illinois this week, they don't have a quality win. Well, you look at Miami, they got quality wins. Alabama's got great quality wins now. I think Alabama is scary. I don't know if I trust the coach yet. I know they're winning these games. When the game comes on the line, I feel like, I don't know. I will say, I think they top 8, top 7. They should be in the top 5 is a question mark in there. But yeah, big win for them. This was a chance for Mizzou to kind of put their name on and it did. Like I said last week or earlier this week, it felt like the Vanderbilt game from last year. It just looked like Alabama was like, okay, we got through the hard games. Now we should be able to win this game. And Mizzou was right there, just can't close, and Alabama takes a win. They're a good team.
Mm-hmm.
And I got one question for you. If Alabama played Ole Miss next week, who would you have?
Alabama.
Yeah, I would too. I'm not keen on and Ole Miss is number 4 in the nation.
Yep.
I'm not keen. I think Alabama would truck Ole Miss.
Well, and Ole Miss squeaked by this week. So
right against the Washington State team, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony. Well, take us into your second takeaway this weekend.
I think this was a game of the day. Oregon versus Indiana. Big Ten, great game. I think everyone on this podcast said Oregon was going to win the game. Everyone on College Game Day said Oregon was going to win, except for Pat McAfee, obviously having a little hometown for that one. Fernando Mendoza, put some respect on that man's name. He looked good, but the running attack for Indiana was the key of this whole game. They controlled the physicality in this game. Oregon, I don't care what jerseys you wear. If Dan Landing's taking a shirt off during College Game Day when it's pitch black out, because it's only 6 a.m. there when they're there, I don't care. Indiana, everyone wants to give Indiana crap and the coach crap for trying to schedule these easier games. But when this is the game, this was the one, right? They got to win this one. They beat Illinois. Now you got to beat Oregon. Now you got to put your name, and they did. Indiana was able to get 2 interceptions and 6 sacks against Oregon. That was key in this game as well. It just got them flustered. It seemed like Oregon didn't know what to do next in a lot of the situations in this game. But one thing I want to talk about real quick. Mendoza throws a pick 6, ties the game up, comes to the sideline. They asked Sig what he said to the coach. He said, "You having fun?" Or what he said to the player. He said, "You having fun yet, kid?" And he goes, "About to." Goes back out there. Mendoza takes him down the field to score. That right there is the mentality for a good cultured team. Hey, I threw a pick 6. I tied the game up. It is what it is. Let's go down there and score the ball. They did it. I will say, Oregon, this looks tough. We always said the quarterback situation was the problem possibly with them. I think it kind of showed in this game that the quarterback is not the Bo Nix, the Dylan Gabriel, the guys that they've had in the past. Big win for Indiana. I'd put them close to top 5 for this one now.
Yeah, it definitely made me respect Indiana more taking down an Oregon team like this. Don't get me wrong, I love Oregon. Their jerseys were very sick during that game, but I definitely respect Indiana more. Tim, what were you surprised about in this game?
How well that offense of Indiana went up and down the field.
Yep.
I think Oregon is a good offensive team. Their defense is very suspect. Very suspect. I mean, Mendoza was thrown to that Surratt all day long.
Yep.
So if you've got a guy you can match up with one-on-one and you're getting the ball down the field, and then you throw in the Hemby, the running back, on top of that, Oregon didn't have no answer to it. No answer whatsoever on defense. Offense, I think they were moving the ball relatively easy, but in the second half, not so much.
Yeah.
And if they don't have that pick six, this was a blowout.
Yeah.
The Indiana blows them out in the second half.
I do
But
feel
they
like
got them back in the game.
I do feel like this game was closer on the scoreboard than it felt like watching this game. It felt like Indiana dominated this whole game. Like what Indiana wanted to do, they did. And that you don't usually see that against Oregon.
No. And I think that'll hold Oregon back from winning the national championship. I really do. I think they have the offense. They don't have any defense.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to outscore. They're the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to try to outscore you. Well, when it comes to playoff time, you can't outscore everybody. You got to have a little bit of defense. And that's what's going to hold them back from ever winning a national championship. They don't have any defense.
Yeah. Well, and Oregon's win against Penn State now is suspect anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So because Penn State's not the team that – So, I mean, even Oregon coming into this game, if I would have known Penn State was going to lose against Northwestern, I probably would have took Indiana because now you're questioning whether that win was even quality.
Absolutely. Well, like we were saying, this was a very intense Saturday. We have some other honorable mentions that I'm going to run through. After I run through them, you guys give me one of the points that stood out to you the most. But like I said, a lot of upsets. So let's run through these. USC beats Michigan. Tennessee barely escapes against Arkansas. Pitt beating Florida State. Iowa State losing to Colorado. And BYU having to go into 2 overtimes to beat Arizona. Anthony, which one here surprises you the most?
USC beat Michigan. So the Michigan went to the Chargers Stadium and got to do the practice in there, hardball, Well, they got ramped. USC played a really good game. And Bryce Underwood, I felt like in this game, he had to take a step forward to win this game, and he didn't. USC goes to Notre Dame. That will be a game of the week next week because USC looked good. Notre Dame's looking good. But that's what we want because USC. I'm still surprised that they're not in the top 25. They have one loss and it's to Illinois at Illinois. Like I feel like they should be now with the win like this. They're gonna be in the top 25. So this will put Notre Dame to have at least one significant win if they can beat USC next week.
Okay, yeah, I would agree with that. I should have known you were going to pick USC with how often you've been like, they got to win for Notre Dame to get relevant again. They got to win.
Yep. Welcome to being a Notre Dame fan right there.
Yeah.
Tim, which one surprised you the most?
I think the Pitt, Florida State.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh going, I think that was at Pittsburgh. And you could tell today because if you watch the Pittsburgh since Cleveland game, that field looked like horrendous.
Yep.
But anyway, Pittsburgh coming in there. Now Florida State ain't what we all thought that was neither.
Yep.
Now Castellanos is struggling. He's throwing off his bat foot again and threw another interception that day on Saturday. Pitt is not that the great of a team, and they just took it right to Florida State. So I think it's like, wow, how the mighty have fallen after going up and beating Alabama, and then now they've really doubled.
I would even say that goes against like a couple of teams. Like that's why this whole weekend we were kind of like, oh, we're not how sure Saturday's going to look, and then it surprised us with all these upsets. So
yeah, I think there's more coaches to be fired too. I think that's because he's going to be hot on that list too.
All right, well, let's move on to the takeaways here for Notre Dame. Anthony, start me off. What's your takeaways?
Yeah, so I watched this game. I was nervous in the first half. I actually told Lisa, I was like, this feels like a game we're going to lose. They started out slow, went up 10-7 at halftime. You're like, okay, come on, pull it out. Well, the second half came out great. Now, here's what was a game-changing moment, I feel like. So, Tyler Buckner If you remember against Texas A&M, he fumbles the kick or the field goal, and that's where the extra point where we lose the game. Tyler Bartner comes in on a punt and comes up to snap. They do like a quarterback sneak. They get this first down. This led that offense to start going. They relied a lot on the passing game, which if you got a quarterback that can throw the ball like that, that's great. But remember, we have 2 solid running backs. That running attack should never be a problem. We should be able to depend on it, but pass when we need to, right? I also think when you look at this, defense had 3 interceptions, 4 sacks, and a safety. This defense is getting better every week. Now, one of the people that commented on our post saying that the Notre Dame reminds of the 2012 defense, not last year's defense. Bend but don't break. I'm going to fight that now after watching this week and say I do remind me of last year's team because they're making plays. That's the difference, I really feel like. When you get 3 interceptions in a game, that changes a lot of momentum. I think when you look at this final thing, I think Notre Dame's a good team, but we cannot start out slow. Have to play these games fully through. Definitely with USC coming into town, defense is going to have to do that as well. Good team, but needs to get better as time goes on.
Yeah, I think they're in a good headspace to go into USC next week, but definitely need to keep improving with every game, every play.
Yep.
Tim, what was your takeaway on Notre Dame?
Yeah, I agree. We can't start out slow like we did in the first half. We'll get beat. USC will run us out of the building. I think we need to give our props to, we've been kind of bashing on Chris Ash.
Yeah.
We need to give him his props. I did see a stat since let me read this. I want to read this. Since the second half of the Purdue game, Notre Dame has allowed only 34 points in the last 14 quarters.
Yep.
That's 3 points a quarter. That is pretty damn good. I think CJ Carter's found a good receiver in that tight end, Eli Raridan. He ended up with 7 catches and 109 yards. But here's another deal, too. The penalties is killing this team.
Yep.
They've got these false starts, illegal motion. That's got to stop, too, as well. I mean, they only had 6 penalties for 55 yards. It's better, but the competition is going to move up because next week you play USC. And this could be the last time you're playing this team.
Yep.
Ever. So you better start out better in the first half. I think they will. It's a Saturday night game. I think they will play better, but you can't start out slow or it could be a long night.
Yeah. Well, and I think, too, you talk about the rivalry coming to an end. Well, it depends if USC wins because USC is trying to take the ball and go home. So if they win, let's put Notre Dame back on the list. But otherwise, if Notre Dame wins again, which I don't know how many years in a row we're on it now, but and I will say, watching the USC-Michigan game, USC will make mistakes. That quarterback, there was one where he rolled out. He could have easily got 4 or 5 yards. He throws the ball, intercepted. That's what Notre Dame's got to come into this game. I think the DBs will look good on defense as well. You're going to have to play well. You're going to have to get after the quarterback. So I didn't love this game. I loved Boise State better going into USC than this game because I just don't love how slow we started. But if they can play the way they did in the second half, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, that concludes our college football recap. Let's move on to how interesting Sunday has been so far. There was a morning game that I definitely snoozed through, but before we get into that, how's fantasy going, Tim?
Right now, I have 2 players left. I have Jaden Daniels playing Monday night against the Bears, and then I have the kicker for Detroit. I'm down 0.64. The person I'm playing has Drake London and Bijan Robinson. I am a little bit nervous. They've got me at 71%. I'm still nervous.
Yep.
Because if the Bears defense comes to play on Monday night after a bye, this could get really close. So yeah, I'm looking pretty good. It wasn't looking very good after the noon games, but then the 3 o'clock games kind of helped me out and got me right back in it. So
you'll be watching late Monday night to make sure you get that win.
probably.
Anthony, how's fantasy going for you?
Yeah, so first off, I hate the 2 Monday nights. It messes with fantasy football so bad because the person I'm playing has like 55 points right now. And I have 140 points, right? So it looks like I'm going to dominate them. They still have 5 players still to play. That's not counting Sunday night and Monday night. That's half your lineup. That could go one whole different way. I am a little cocky still. Like I had Rico Dow go off pretty well today. Josh Jacobs did well. Cortland Sutton was nowhere to be found. I think they left him in Europe because they probably should. And then I had Marvin Harrison decide to smack his head off the field today, so he was in concussion. And then my final person was Romeo Doubs. I didn't play Deebo Samuel, which will be a huge factor. I have Jaden Daniel as well going still. And I will say this, if Deebo doesn't play, who does Jaden throw the ball to? Like, who's getting these points? Because that's scary. So McLaurin's still out. If Debo's not going to play, so I didn't play him because I didn't want to be on Monday night trying to find a guy last minute to play.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck to the both of you. Let's see how Monday night shakes out for you guys. Let's talk about our takeaways. Tim, talk us through your first one.
I'm going to talk about it wasn't a Sunday game. It was the Thursday night game.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
Giants and the Eagles. Hurts throws his first interception of the year. With 11 minutes to go, they're 27-17. Eagles are driving down. He throws that interception. That was a backbreaker because they went right back down. The Giants didn't score, and the game was pretty much over. But I love those two, Scatterboo and Dot. Oh, baby, I love them. I love them. They may not be around. I mean, for the time that they're going to be around, I love this.
Yeah.
He shows so much grit. Every play he's knocking people over when he's running the ball. Dart, he's jogging, juking. I mean, he is. They're both excited. They pump some life into this Giants team, and I think that's great. The rushing touchdown that Dart had right off the bat to make it 7-0. It just didn't seem like the Eagles. I mean, the Giants got to do whatever they wanted up and down the field. And even the defense came to play. It just like, they were giving the ball to Barkley, and Barkley in the first drive was I think he had 30 yards in the first drive.
Yeah.
And then they went away from him. It's just like there's turmoil in Philadelphia right now. And I don't know what's going on, but Sirianni better get it figured out, or this could be, I was talking last night to a couple of people, in that NFC East, it's up for grabs.
Yep.
Dallas now is back in this, and Dallas could sneak in here because they have a tie. That could be the deciding factor as well. So I don't know what's going on. I think also too, not having Jalen Carter on defense is killing them with the run defense, and then that Quentin Mitchell, he went down. So now you've got a cornerback that's out. I will give you the one last thing about this. The last time a rookie quarterback and a rookie running back both rushed for a touchdown for the Giants in the same game was Week 10 of 1980.
Yep.
Against Dallas, Larry Heater, that's his name.
Hell of a name.
Yeah, and Leon Perry. Who the hell had those players? I have no idea. But yeah, that's the first time since 1980 that two rookies, a rookie quarterback on the Giants, had a rushing touchdown in the same game.
Yeah,
I like this team. I really do. I like I said, we were talking last night. I think Dallas. This division is up for grabs. Washington is back in this. I think Dallas is too. I really do.
It's definitely good to see that they have a 1-2 punch. What's wrong?
No, keep going.
Oh, okay. It's definitely good that they have a 1-2 punch with Dart and Scatterboo, but we also had that 1-2 punch. We used to have it with Hurts and Barkley. I was definitely expecting more out of Barkley from this game, especially being against the Giants team that he'd just been traded from, 2 seasons ago. But still, I thought there's going to be more, competitiveness there. It was kind of bummer I didn't see that fall through. At least I didn't. But definitely a good game for the Giants. Anthony, what do you have to say?
No. He's naming the Cowboys. The Cowboys lost. He's naming the Washington Commanders. They might be. What about the Giants? The Giants have a legitimate chance, if they can keep this going, to be the NFC East, the leader. I agree. The frat boys, that's what they call them, the frat boys. Obviously, they had Ryan Fitzpatrick taking off his shirt while Cam Scatterboo rips his shirt off. Great.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Post-game conference, that was great. I will say, though, it was surprising. If you're in Philadelphia right now, you're going through hell. Phillies get kicked out of the playoffs, and then you got the Penn State can't win a game, and then the Eagles now have lost 2 games that should have won 2 games. I don't want people to worry about the Eagles, and here's why. That was the same team last year. Sirianni was possibly going to get fired last year, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. I think they have it. I just agree with you 100%. Saquon has to be a main vocal point of this. And if there is turmoil, it's the wide receivers not getting the ball. Dallas Goedert's getting the ball, but Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown are nowhere to be found in this passing game. And I blame that on Jalen Hurts. There was way too many opportunities for him to get the ball to those two players, and he just didn't.
Okay. I think that's fair to say, too. I think he's focused on the running game and just wasn't getting him very far.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony, well, take us into your first takeaway this Sunday.
Yes, it was Chargers versus Dolphins. So we've been talking about the Chargers recently. Like, they should be winning games and things like this. Well, this game, this is an easy one. This is how you beat up on – you told Quentin Johnson, you don't even need to play. We're going to beat up on him. Yep. Well, Dolphins were down 10 in the fourth quarter, but get the lead with 46 seconds remaining. I mean, the Chargers were freaking out. They were calling timeouts. Tua finds Waller in the corner of the end zone, and they're going up. It's like, holy shit. Dolphins might win this game. Justin M.F. Herbert. That man getting out of that pass rush and getting that ball to Ladd McConkey to get 42-yard pass. Crazy play. That was Baker Mayfield style. That is those plays that when they talk about winning games, you got to do. He did it right there. Cameron Dickers would kick his fifth field goal to win the game. Now, why did the Chargers have a close game? Because of that stat right there. 5 field goals. You can't do that. You have to score touchdowns. I know you're missing your big wide receiver. I totally get that, but you got to find it in other people. We just watched, and we'll talk about it, the Buccaneers. They're losing everyone in the streets, and they're still finding new guys that are stepping up to the plate. That's what the Chargers have to do. I thought Harbaugh was going to have his Michigan team lose out west and then see his team lose as well. Lucky win for the Chargers. I will tell you right now, power rankings, see you later. You're going down because I think you're coming back to reality really hard.
That last 2 minutes of that game were absolutely intense.
Yep.
When the Dolphins scored and you're like, holy cow, are the Dolphins going to win? And then 46 seconds left, he throws that pass and like that guy dodges and weaves. And it was just like, holy cow, like they made it possible. It felt like a Cinderella story. Absolutely. Like It was such an intense 2 minutes. So proud win for the Chargers. Definitely got more making up to do though. Tim, what did you think?
I think I know they're missing on Amari Hampton, but Vidali, he had 144 yards rushing.
Yep.
So, I mean, they've got the running attack going. It just seems like they get kind of complacent. They just kind of, and they should have blew out Miami. Miami's not that good. That was not I don't know if this is the heat or what. I don't know if it was hot down there or not, but it just seemed like they just play around. They're like they're playing in their food. They're like a little child. They're just playing, and then once they get hungry, then they decide to eat. Well, that's what they did. They decided at the end of the game to eat because they got tired of jacking around. And I don't know if it's with Harbaugh, him being the coach and just kind of being goofy. I don't know. But it's just like they have not yet put a full game together. I think they did week 1 against the Chiefs, but we haven't seen it since then.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm still up in here with them. It's a great win for them. A great win after losing the last 2 and then go down to Miami and beating them, which you should because Miami's not very good. But they just kind of they feel fart around is what they do. Yeah, they're like old people. They just kind of and then all of a sudden, we're in this game. We got to go.
Yeah. Well, and I think Ladd McConkey having a big game too. This was big for him because yet to this year he has not had that game, and he did have a big game this game. So. And that 42-yard play, that was the play of the day. Because if he would have got sacked, the game's over. Yep.
Right, definitely. All right, Tim, well, take us into your second takeaway.
Well, I'm going to talk about this team right here.
Oh.
Boys. I talked up you good. I was afraid this was going to happen, and it did happen. If it wasn't for Denver's pass rush defense today, they would have lost. They would have got blown out. 9 sacks. You had to have 9 sacks to beat a Jets team that is winless. Yikes. Your offense better start playing better. 9 sacks. They had 15 quarterback hits, 7 tackles. I'm telling you right now, they are the MVP of this team right now, is that defense. If they don't have that defense, because Nix is not nothing. I think he's taking a couple steps back. He's not He's not putting together a full game. Even today, I thought, well, maybe he'll come back in the fourth quarter. Not really. I mean, they got him down there, but they were kicking field goals. They only had one touchdown, and that's because it was a blown coverage by the Jets. And but here's I mean, Fields only had 45 yards. I mean, that's what it was. There's nothing but the defense. 45 yards. I mean, but their offense is a Jekyll and Hyde kind of offense. It's just because the Jets are a dumpster fire. I'm telling you right now, they're 0-6. The big deal, the big key, and I don't know what Aaron Glenn is doing or their coach staff is doing. They stalled with 2 minutes ago in the game in the first half. Yeah. They're still farting around. You know why? Because they don't want to give Denver the ball back so they can score. Yeah. So he's got one timeout left, and they run the clock out. So then you see Garrett Wilson coming off the sideline. He's getting into an argument with Aaron Glenn, like, what the hell are you doing? Yep. Let's go down and score. And he's, I don't think Justin Fields is the guy. I think they got to go with Tyrod Taylor. Even the locker room is, I hate to say this, but I don't think he's lost them. But they have to be questioning what they're doing. I mean, it's not. I mean, one good thing for the Jets, their divas did show up today. They held Denver to one touchdown, But I think what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to go into the draft and find a quarterback because they don't have – Justin Fields is not their guy. He is not their guy. He got tore up today by that pretty damn good defense.
Well, I wasn't able to watch this game because I was choosing to sleep in. But even though I was trying to sleep in, Anthony kept yelling out in Bo Nix, Bo Nix. So, Anthony, please express your pain about Bo Nix.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start on the Jets side first, okay? Justin Fields' performance is not due to his performance. I think it was due to play calling. He is a guy that can run the ball. Why is there not more scripted runs for him in that offense? You saw it. When they were playing really well offensively, it's because he can take off and run and puts a threat into it. Garrett Wilson going against, not Cortland Sutton, Surtain.
Surtain, yeah.
Yes, that was a hell of a combination there. But yes, I want to go off on Denver because I have Cortland Sutton nowhere to be found in this game. And then even when he's got Franklin, there's a fumble there. This offense looked so sloppy today. Bo Nix, and we talked about this. You were telling me, well, they've only lost by how many points and stuff like this. And it's like, yes, I get that. But that offense is so inconsistent. Final thing I will say, these international games suck. Because Denver comes off a big win against Philadelphia, and then they got to go travel over there, where now they're dealing with different times and everything's different. They left their momentum in Philadelphia because they had to go international. I think Denver is a better team. Bo Nix has to play better. He has to get the ball to Cortland Sutton. They got to get the running attack going with J.K. Dobbins. But you sneak by and get this win. I was so ready to come on this podcast and just laugh because I was like, you were going to put them in the top 5, and they lost to an 0-5 team. Yeah. They got lucky and won this one. Now get back, get recouped, and get back into being able to play the Denver defense or Denver team that they've been playing against Philadelphia.
Well, Anthony, next week they got the Giants.
Yeah,
that's not a cupcake homecoming win for you at home.
Well,
they have a good team.
Well, and I'll say this too. I don't believe in this international games and then not having a bye.
I know.
We saw Cleveland today go and play, and Dylan Gabriel looked so frantic back there. Well, yeah, because it's on a short week pretty much. Even though you played 8:30 in London, by the time you get out there and come back and all that shit, it's now Sunday evening and stuff like that. So I don't agree with that. If you're gonna make these teams go international, they deserve a bye after because I agree. You just can't do it. And I'll tell you right now, watch out because the Giants might win that game. Yeah, because of the travel.
They have a lot of momentum on their side right now, for sure.
Yep.
And they have a longer week. They had a mini bye because they played Thursday night.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, Anthony, why don't you take us into your second takeaway this weekend?
Yes, was this afternoon game really good? 49ers, Buccaneers. 49ers can't catch a break with injuries. Obviously, Fred Warner goes down in the first half. Did not look good. He gets carted off, so there's another injury on that defense/team. I think they got like 26 injuries, I think I've seen, or something like that. But they stay in games. They find ways. I will give roses to someone, Mac Jones. I understand that he's not playing the top of his potential, But he looks better than he did look, obviously, in New England and things like that. Ibuka gets injured in this game with a hamstring. Oh, my God. So Mike Evans is out. Chris Godwin's out. Ibuka's out. So what does that say? Tez M.F. Johnson from Oregon comes and has this catch, fingertips, diving into the end zone. Rashard White was good today. Sean Tucker was good for them. But I have to declare my love to Baker Mayfield. There was a third down where it was like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16 or whatever, and he gets out of this. He was about to get sacked. He breaks 2 tackles. Then he takes it going down there. It's like, okay, he ain't going to get the first down. He jukes out a guy, dives and gets the first down. That is the quarterback you want in the NFL. Baker Mayfield is the reason they won this game. Close second of why they won this game today, Bowles. Because he threw so many damn things at Mac Jones, and the 2 interceptions that he had were because the defense were in a bluff coverage, and then they came back and picked them off. I just think this Bucs team, man, I understand I don't love them winning these close games, but at the same time, they know how to win when a crucial time comes. Scary team as the year goes on.
Well, I'm glad you turned the page on Baker, because last time we talked, you thought his luck was running out. And
It doesn't mean I'm not rooting
in this game.
Don't you literally said this. We were sitting on the couch before this, and you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna hammer you." I'm not against Baker. I just think you can't win these one possession games like this. But it helps when you play against a 49ers team that you don't even know who's playing because of so many injuries.
Yeah, no doubt. But yes, I'm proud of Baker. I knew he was going to pull it out. I knew he had another game in him. Tim, what was your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I tell you, I just, before we got on, I seen a meme, and it was all the players that the 49ers have on injury. And it says, well, I got a good knee, coach. I got a good ankle, coach. I got a good this. I got a good that. And it's all these players that are hurt. Well, I guess we could use you for this one and this one. And it was hilarious. It was really hilarious. And so, yeah, I tell you, here's the deal. I think that this does run out for Mayfield. I really does. I think just like last year with Detroit, the injuries is going to catch up to you eventually. If you don't get some of these guys back, it is going to catch up to you. So it's working good now. It's early in the season. And I think their defense will keep them in a lot of games.
Yeah.
I think Bowles is a very good – I mean, he's not really the DC there, but he still has his input on a lot of things. And, yeah, they made Mac Jones – that one throw, the the last interception at the end of the game, it was just like, yeah, he had no clue who the hell he's – but that's the bad deal with Mac is he doesn't have all his players there. I mean, so he could depend on Kendrick Bourne, his player that he played with in New England.
Yep.
So, I mean, and he's got CMC still, but, I mean, that's going to hurt that defense without Warner. That is going to hurt them. Now they're down Warner and Bosa. Ooh, boy, that's going to be tough.
Watch out for this Bucs team because Tez Johnson just showed up today. You have Ibuka that's having the Rookie of the Year candidate. You have Mike Evans. You have Chris Godwin. If this team can get back being healthy,
they're dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, they're uncovering talent, and hopefully the talent is like a revolving door. It keeps coming back so that when it's time for playoffs, they got a full team back again.
Next man up. That's what that was with Tez Johnson today.
Absolutely. Yep. All righty. Well, just so everybody knows, we are recording in the middle of Sunday, so we still have Sunday night Lions and Chiefs that we will recap on Tuesday. And then we also have 2 Monday night games, Bills versus Falcons and Bears versus Commanders. Anthony and Tim's fantasy are going to take them right to the end to see if they're going to win, so stay tuned to see how that goes. But let's move on to Tim's best bets results. How'd you do, Tim?
0-3 so far, but I do have the Bills on Monday night, hopefully to win. But, yeah, Stanford, they were getting a 19.5. I think they lost by 24. I had Oklahoma getting a 3. They ended up losing by, I think, 18. And then Indianapolis, you've been playing really good. Arizona's got a backup quarterback, and you barely beat them. Come on. Hopefully the Bills win Monday night. So,
which is coming to an Atlanta team that's coming off a bye.
Yeah.
I said 4-0, not 0-4. So
this might be over.
Get your nose back in those books.
We might find a new name for this segment.
Yeah. Yeah. Opposite of Tim's best bets.
Yeah, kind of best bets.
Yeah. Up to your discretion, best bets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
All-
your left fielder should have been the Northwestern game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if I'd known that Penn State was going to lay an egg, I would have.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was episode 146. We talked a lot of college football because that was super good on Saturday. And then we had a great Sunday of NFL, even though the games didn't look like they were going to be good. They were great. We will come back on Tuesday, or we'll record on Tuesday for Wednesday's post that will have Sunday night's recap and Monday night, as there's 2 games. And then we'll have to talk about what's upcoming on Thursday. So if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of those as well, YouTube. So we appreciate it. Have a great start to your week, and we will talk to you on Wednesday.